Assalamu alaikum to everyone. I am Peer Muhammad Iqbal and lecturer Commerce BHSS Vilagam. My dear students, we have been delivering lessons since long past and this chain continues till day. We have discussed so many topics, so many chapters so far. And our today's topic is decentralization of authority. And this is the class of business studies for 12th class students. Dear students, before this lesson we have discussed something about, or we have discussed in detail, delegation of authority. And this decentralization of authority is again, it is the systematic dispersal of authority in all departments and at all levels of management. जैसे कि डियर स्टूडेंट्स, डेलीगेशन ऑफ अथॉरिटी में ऐसा होता था कि इमीडिएट एग्जीक्यूटिव जो है वो अपने पावर्स डेलीगेट करता था टू हिज इमीडिएट सबऑर्डिनेट. लेकिन यहाँ पर बात कुछ और है. यहाँ पर वहाँ पर डेलीगेशन जो थी वो एक स्कॉलर चेन के थ्रू होती थी, लेकिन यहाँ पर ये चाहा जाता है कि टॉप लेवल से इस अथॉरिटी को जो है डिस्पर्स किया जाए, इसको बांटा जाए, इसको लोअर लेवल्स तक एंड ऑल लेवल्स. ऐसा नहीं लिखा गया है एट ऑल लेवल्स. इट मीन्स एट टॉप लेवल देयर शुड बी डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन, अगेन एट द मिडल लेवल and also at the ground level, at the lower level. And this authority should reach to the ground workers. They should be able to do their work freely, and they should be powerful enough to carry out their duties without any pressure, without any compulsion, without any anxiety. So it is here is the flow of authority from top to middle level, then middle to lower level, ground level of the organization. Managers of middle and lower levels are allowed to take decisions and actions on matters relating to their respective areas. If there is the centralization of authority, then the decisions are to be taken only by the top executives. But when we talk of the decentralization of authority here, the middle level or the lower level managers are free enough. They are given authority to take the decisions, to take the initiatives pertaining to their work and do their work, and to take the decisions regarding their work which fall in their jurisdiction, which fall in the limits of their authorities in particular areas. The top managers retain authority for taking major decisions. Now here one thing is obvious, that is some decisions are of the top level. They can't be decentralized. For example, making of policies, procedures, plans, these are the top level decisions. These decisions could not be given to lower level or middle level people. So that part of authority is reserved at the top. It is centralized by the management. These decisions are to be taken by the top level executives, either the board of directors of a company or managing director or the chairman, whatsoever the case may be. So, dear students, there these decisions of immediate importance of the are the formulation of policies, programs, rules, regulations. These are centralized. They are kept back by the top executives to do themselves. Top management retains authority for overall coordination and control, and overall supervision, coordination, and control also remains in the hands of top executives. Now, dear students, we knew something about this meaning of the decentralization and why this decentralization is important. We may also see its importance. Number first point in its importance is reduction in the burden of the top executives. We see that the top executives are human beings. Human beings have a tendency, they have a level of doing their work. They have a resistance to their work. So when it is said that excess of everything is bad, when they are overburdened with the work, they can't perform well. There will be delay in decisions. There will be the bad quality of the work. It will have an adverse impact on the functioning of the organization. By the means of decentralization, these top executives get some relief from the burden of the work. Some of their work is shared by their subordinates who are worth to perform these activities, or who are able, who are specialized in that particular field to perform these duties, and the top executives are relieved from that part of their duties. Number second point here is that motivation of subordinates. Again, this decentralization of authorities makes the subordinates much more motivated. They get faith in their management, in their top executives, that they also believe in us. They develop a belongingness to the organization, and they work for the organization day and night with zeal and zest and with their best competencies, and they will surely take the organization to the heights of the skies. Number third point is better decisions. Then we see if the authority is centralized, everything is to be decided by the top executives. So it will delay the decisions in the organization, because the top executives have to attend so many functions, they have to go at so many places, and they have a less time to be regular in their offices and to look after their work. So they can't do the work in abundance, which delays the decisions in the organization. So when the authority is decentralized, lower or middle level managers are authorized to take the decisions. It will help to take better decisions and quick decisions into the organization. Dear students, another point there is growth and diversification. When the work is distributed among the executives, decisions are being taken at the regular intervals, work is done on the grassroots level, so efficiency prevails throughout the organization. When there is efficiency, when everybody thinks that the organization is his own, he works with zeal and zest and love and lust for the organization, naturally organization will grow day by day, and it will get diversified. It will get new heights. There will be innovation in the organization. And another point is fifth, that is development of managers. When the subordinates are given the responsibility, they may get experienced into the work. when the top executives get out of the organization, these subordinates take their places. So in other words, we can say, with the help of decentralization, we are creating new managers. We are training new managers. So new manpower will generate into the organization, and they will get experienced, and they will take the positions of the top executives when they are retiring from the organization. One more point is that is effective supervision and control. Every manager in the lower rung administration to whom authority is rather decentralized, powers are given, he will look after his own area. And different managers will look different areas, different units of the organization under their own jurisdiction, so there will be effective supervision. Every manager will be made responsible in his particular field, and he will supervise his field very off and on, and the supervision will also become effective. And last point, dear students, is effective communication. Communication here means understanding. So there will be a team spirit among the various employees of the organization. Even this decentralization means the dispersal of authority to the ground level as well. So there will be a downward communication, there will be the upward communication. So the communication system in the organization will also get strengthened, which will also lead to the betterment of the organization. Dear students, we have learned about the meaning and importance of decentralization in this today's lesson. I think it is enough for today. Inshallah, see you into the next lesson. Till then, goodbye.